prepared he was and stuff like that in the combine and stuff like that. So people are looking for because listen, us, Brian Kelly, Scott Woodward, Verge Osbury, I mean, everybody thought that the things were in place to make a run. Everybody, coming into this season. They really, really put a roster together that was minus the offensive line, which that's my opinion. But everybody, we all thought it was, and then it was a little fool's goal going into Clemson. But anyway, he started off. It was an hour. He was on from 7:30 to 8:30. This 7:30 to 8:30. Yeah, with 6:30 to 7:30. Pardon me. And it talked about it's kind of what happened. It looked like it was. We talked to you in the spring, and man, you were like everybody was optimistic, so they brought that up, and he did say that the coordinator continuity has been a big thing for his years, and had to replace or replace one and promote one, but he lost his two coordinators from the previous year, and he said, there's still Jimmys and Joes, but X's and O's, we still got to coach. And, 24 of the 33 years, I've called the plays on offense. I was big into it, and I wasn't as close to that coordinator role as I should have been, and that when there was maybe a misstep or something that kind of needed to be corrected or something, I just went around. I'm paraphrasing here. But he wasn't really finger pointing about what went wrong. I got jobbed and this and that. He talked about when he went to Notre Dame, the reason they brought there was to get them back into position. And I think before he came here, he won 3 straight 10-win seasons. We know about the record there. He brought them back to a level. Notre Dame was not happy about losing him. But he said, we accomplished that there. When I went to LSU, it was very clear. Win a national championship or go home. And we didn't do that. And so when there was, finally, but he was like kind of self-reflecting a little bit, saying, I'm trying to find out maybe what can I learn from this, because we didn't get it done. There was a decision made, and what can I learn from it? He said that he's going to try and stay in the game before getting back in the game. And what he means by that is he's got 4 coaches that coached under him that coaching NFL teams, 3 or 4 more that are coaching high major teams. And he's going very soon in the spring to kind of feel the temperature, was his term. And not just in the spring, but also in the fall, continue that and kind of be around those programs and kind of see. Talked about the problems in college football and sort of basically my interpretation, the right spot, I'm ready to get back in, at whatever level. And so, but the coordinator continuity was something that kind of caught me up by surprise. I mean, I'm sorry. It's something, there's a point that he made that I was like, oh, he also did say, and later now, it was secondary from the quarter continuity was, and our quarterback and best defensive player were hurt.
Yeah, and I can't dispute that. That's a fact. To the coordinators, I would say this. He brought in Matt House. Matt House, when he was brought in, was thought to be a rising star. He'd had a good run at Kentucky. He had been highly thought of in his time with the Kansas City Chiefs. That didn't work. When he had to dismiss House, which was an expensive dismissal, they gave him enough budget to go out and hire Blake Baker, who was, I don't think he was the highest paid defensive coordinator the day they hired him. He might have been, but he was certainly right there, very close to the top, and I think at one point he did become the highest paid defensive coordinator. If he wasn't the highest, he was very, very close. On offense, Mike Denbrock had been with him at multiple stops. It was somebody he was very familiar with. He was very comfortable with. When Denbrock left, it was his call to promote Joe Sloan. Now, a lot of that at the time, remember, Sloan was considered influential towards Bryce Underwood and was the lead recruiter there, and therefore they wanted Sloan around, and this was before Underwood jumped ship. So they moved Sloan up. At no point did they make an adjustment after that. He rode Sloan all the way to the end. Could he have hired somebody else? Was there enough budget to do that? Could he have called the plays? What would your reaction have been if Brian Kelly said halfway through the Sloan change, said, you know what, that guy's my quarterback coach, but I'm going to call the plays? But
I've seen it.
Yeah, I would have said, okay, it's your ship to fly. I wouldn't have batted an eye at that because Brian Kelly's called offensive plays before. So my question to him would be, at what point, if you're taking responsibility for the coordinator continuity, kudos, okay, but this was all on you,
Charlie. Don't you think
all
this
these
is
decisions
part
are
of
yours.
getting that $100 million deal and kind of putting it on cruise control a little bit?
Yeah,
and not being more involved, which you being involved in the offense and calling plays for 24 of those 33 seasons, and then okay, I'm going to give it, but it's going to be somebody I'm really, really trustworthy of and very familiar with, and okay, we'll do that, and then wait, what? This is not how you did it to get this job.
Again, every move that was made at the time, there was sound reasoning behind it. A lot of them didn't work.
All right, next, firing. He said, my situation at LSU was very complex. There are a lot of people involved. The president was forced out. He was a big reason I took the job. And he went on to say some other things, too. But, yeah, that was the big part of it.
I don't know that William Tate leaving was the biggest reason that Brian Kelly was fired. I got a hard time swallowing that. If Tate had still been here and the record had been what it was, there would have still been enormous pressure to move him. Now, was he more comfortable with that president than the president they had coming in? Was he uncomfortable with the governor's involvement? Was he caught in a tug of war between the governor and the athletic director? I can't speak to any of that. Maybe. But I can tell you that Bill Tate would have had a hard time keeping Brian Kelly around if he'd have still been the president here last October, given the circumstances, because there was significant pressure to want him out.
Talked about, just the change in where, with the money and all that's going on in college football. They even asked him, what he would do and things like that. And, he said that, we start with the calendar. We can't play games in mid-January. The calendar is about academics. We have lost sight of the academic piece. It doesn't matter anymore, the academics. Play in August. Start earlier. The NFL, he says, they're the role model. They have employees, collective bargaining, and rules and regulations. We have none of those, but we're doing it our way. He went on to say about the money. He says, they're paying me. They're paying Lane Kiffin. I don't know how LSU's doing it, but the money is there. And they're paying $40 million for a roster. The hosts, Danny Dvorak and Danny Cannell's, Dusty Dvorak, I'm sorry, and Danny Cannell said, up to 50? Okay, well, how much was it? I don't know. It's over 50. I mean, over 40, though.
Yeah. And that's not inconsistent with what we've heard,
right,
what we suspect.
I'd say my money's on 45.
There's very few people that know it to the decimal point, but I think we're in the ballpark.
I'm a math guy, Charlie. 45.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good estimate.
And listen, there's a great deal of angst about LSU's finances right now. The guys over at Tiger Egg, Todd Horn, they did a great piece last week about breaking down where all this money's coming from and where it's going and why firing the basketball coach is, cumbersome and all that stuff. So they're not the only ones with heartburn about he's not the only one with heartburn about LSU's finances, but there's plenty of that. The academic part is interesting. I don't expect it to get any traction, but I agree with him 100% here. The NCAA has lost at every eligibility turn in court. Every single one of them.
They're going back for more, Trinidad.
Going back for more. Go, come on back, get you whooping, all right? What could they do? Because they've lost in court every time. What could they do to slow the transfer portal exodus in every sport? They could go back to enforcing academics. That's the one leg that they've got to stand on. That's the one thing you can't take to court, because I got a hard time believing that these thousands and thousands of student athletes are able to move so freely and be eligible at place to place. We actually still
we
going
don't.
to class?
No,
There's no academic ineligibles anymore. How is that possible, Jimmy?
it's it. Yeah, right.
When you
We don't.
transfer, you lose credits. I mean, almost every time you transfer from one school to another, you're more likely to lose credits than not.
And not just not in the timing. We talked about how many times we said, "Oh man, who's saying the transfer, unlimited transfers is a bad thing?" I mean, come on, man, NIL. I mean, everybody's smarter. Nobody's academically ineligible. Over and over, we said that. And maybe it's just a timing when he left Notre Dame, or maybe it's Notre Dame to SEC and they're different academic standards because they asked him, said, just means more. What does it mean anymore in the SEC? So it's player development. That's what it's always been. Always been. He said, kind of can't do that anymore. I'm paraphrasing. But he did say, now it's going for player development through roster building in the SEC. And you better have a good roster in the SEC if you're going to compete. He said the academic piece certainly isn't there.
It's not, and it's
That's
not there, and it's not there.
Academic piece certainly isn't there was a quote.
And I don't think that that's exclusive to the Southeastern Conference. The transfer portal is pretty active in the other power leagues too. The piece before that, when he said it's about roster building, the reason it's about roster building is, and I'm sure he would say this at the follow-up question, is because of the transfer portal. You can't bring in a kid as a freshman, redshirt him, have him play on special teams as a redshirt freshman, work his way into the lineup as a sophomore, and then become a full-time player as a junior and senior. It doesn't work that way anymore. If you do that, by the time he gets to that second, I would say the third year, but really it's kind of the second, he's out the door. It's play me immediately or I'm going somewhere else. And sometimes even if you play him, it's I'm going somewhere else because somebody else's budget opened up a little bit more for me. So I agree with his statement, but I certainly don't think it's exclusive to the Southeastern Conference.
They started and ended sort of, what you been doing? Where are you? In Naples, Florida. We know about that. And they said, just getting caught up, with the family, the things I haven't been able to, our schedule is different now. He said, one of my son is at a D3 school in Ohio, doing some stuff there. His daughter is working for a sports agency in Atlanta. His son is in Oxford living with Austin Thomas, the one that just graduated from here. His wife is telling him, don't forget to put out the trash. So then they ended it. I said, well, Naples is a great place. You golfing? You taking a boat out? He said, well, I had an injury in the Florida game. He said, I'm kind of on the DL right now. I'm paraphrasing there.
But he did get hit.
But he did say, quote, if you ask LSU, I was playing 350 rounds of golf all through the year and drinking in my office. It was kind of on the tail end of it. That was late in the conversation. It was scheduled for an hour, and that was probably of the last 5 minutes.
Right. And I'm sure he's gotten more than his fair share of feedback from LSU fans or whatever that the narrative is you were fired because you were lazy. That became the narrative, and that grows, okay? Did the guy play a lot of golf? Yeah. Did he play as much golf as he was rumored to?
No.
It would have been hard.
He played more than a guy making with a $100 million contract at a high major.
By the time they got through telling it, because he had grown into such a villain, he was playing more golf than Scotty Scheffler, okay? I mean, be fair, okay? Was he playing too much golf? Maybe.
No. Was he playing more than the average coach?
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
But was he playing? No. It was completely exaggerated.
Did he like a glass of wine? Yes. Was he drunk at practice? I don't think so.
No.
Okay. I mean, let's be fair about it. But you know how this gets. We've seen this a lot of times. As soon as somebody goes out the door here, especially if they're fired, they become the worst, whatever. All right. We didn't think Brian Kelly deserved – his record was not a fireable record, but that's not the landscape these days.
Our appetizer features today here at Ruffino's. It is the Lenten season and certainly a Lenten theme. Barbecue, lobster ravioli, barbecue butter sauce, sweet corn, and crunch onions. The frito misto, the fried Louisiana shrimp, oysters, halibut, Calabrian chili aioli, marinara, pickled leeks. So, got to try that. Entree features today, the pan-seared halibut with a crystal beurre blanc, roasted Brussels with ginger glazed carrots. Suggested wine pairing is a Frank Family Chardonnay out of Napa. And our fried speckled trout, crawfish cream sauce, green beans, andouille cornbread. Suggested wine pairing is a cake bread sauvignon. Done. That's what I'm getting on. So, look, that's we also have other non-meat items over here at Ruffino's. So come on by and see us here at Ruffino's, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're doing it this week, next week. And then we'll be off for 1 week for March Madness to be at the DraftKings Sportsbook downtown at the New Bally's Casino.
Live at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
You've heard me talk about Workbox services and how they can handle all of your movable storage needs for both commercial and residential. With our shipping containers of all sizes, customized in any way that you need or desire. Now Martin Padial has expanded his coverage outside the Baton Rouge area. Workbox can now service the Gulf Coast and New Orleans areas all the way to Lake Charles. Our staff at Workbox continues to grow with Hannah, Martin Jr., Brandy, and Chris. Do like I did when I needed a movable storage unit. Call Workbox at 343-4886 or workboxllc.com.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Segan near Perkins.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Let's bring in professional sports gambler Chris Massaro from the West Coast. I got word that you are headed to Las Vegas. Have you arrived, sir?
Yeah, I'm sitting in my room right now, and the wind, you can just you can feel it through the window. I can't believe it's just one of those, like, it looks like it's a beautiful day, but it's definitely not.
I met you in the wind sport. I love the wind sports and race book. It's cool. It's cool. Look, Circa is awesome. It's the best sports, but they don't have racing, minus the Kentucky Derby Day. So I'm not sure
Yes,
about Oak
that
Steak,
is
but
true.
I did see that they got out of the fixed odds business, and I could understand that. The computer guys probably popped them a little bit on that one. But, man, I love the win, man. And you were so much more relaxed when I met you. I'm sitting next to you. I got money on the Steelers. They're playing the Patriots. This guy likes the Patriots, by the way, Charlie.
I've heard.
And so, anyway, and you were so calm and respectful. I mean, you won. Congratulations. No, none of this ranting and raving. What the hell happened
This sounds
to you?
like sarcasm.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, he was.
Well,
that
no,
I
I'm being.
you know,
No,
I try to be nice to people I don't really know, and then once I get to know you, I can just give you my true colors.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go back to the East Coast tonight. What about this one, huh? Shaheen Holloway, Seton Hall Pirates, and he's done a really nice job over there at his alma mater. Well, I loved watching him play, by the way. St. John's going on the road in New Jersey here, laying 4.5.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We were talking, me and you, the other night about how weak the bubble is. I know Seton Hall is probably not in the tournament. They definitely need this win, and they probably need a few wins in the Big East tournament. But I think they can get this win. The first time these teams matched up a few weeks back, it was St. John's 65-60. You know, that was on St. John's home court. Now we're going down the road a little bit to New Jersey, and I think this defense is something you can hang the hat on. They're number 1 in blocks. They're number 3 in steals. They're a pretty good, solid defensive team in the mindset of their coach. As you mentioned, Holloway, 13th overall in Ken Palm defensive efficiency. And I think the Johnnies, you know, they expended a lot of energy to come back against Georgetown the other night. They were down 12, middle of the second half. A lot of energy to come back in that game. And they've had some trouble scoring lately as well. So I think this is a defensive effort by Seton Hall. I'm definitely going to take the points. I played it overnight at +4.5. I played a +5 at -120. I'm not sure where we are right now, as I'm just getting going here this morning. But I think Seton Hall. I think they can definitely win the game. I mean, there's been a lot of chinks in the armor of St. John's lately. I mean, they got the doors blown off by UConn. They're trailing to a horrible Georgetown team at home just a couple nights ago. So
Yes.
in a must-win game, give me the Pirates plus the points.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I don't think St. John's is as good as they were last year. I mean, just period. I mean, they were one of the hottest teams in the country, and it is and Big East is down, and predictably so. You know, with sort of the money situation in college athletics. VCU had a 9-point lead, catching right about 9 a couple of weekends ago, and well, the roof caved in on them in the second half against St. Louis. Now they'll travel to Dayton, Ohio here, catching 1.5. Same Friday night situation.
Yeah, it's another game where I'm going to be on VCU. I know it's a revenge spot for Dayton, and Dayton's won, I think, 6 in a row. But I just think the style of play, VCU plays it pretty quick. They're 48th in offensive efficiency, 78th in tempo. I think they're going to – I mean, they blew them out last time, 99-73. So I think it might just be a style type of situation where VCU likes to play fast, shoots a lot of threes. Dayton 251st in defense, defending the three. VCU top 50, 36.3% shooting them. I just think it might be a bad matchup for Dayton. And another team, VCU, needs the game on this big bubble. They're just, they're not a solid team at all. They probably need this win and a few wins in their tournament. Like I mentioned on Seton Hall only has one quad one win. It was against NC State. I'm not sure how many quad one wins VCU has. I guess I could probably look that up.
One.
We're talking here.
It's one, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like these teams need these late season wins, and they need to make a little bit of a run in the tournament. But I think the style of play means VCU is going to get the job done. I also lean towards the over, as I mentioned, last game was 99-73. Big total there. Ken Palm has this game 76-75. I know the total's been ticking down a little bit overnight. It was 149. I saw 147.5 at DraftKings. I still like the game to go over based on the way the VCU plays fast tempo.
All right, there's 2 Friday nights. Let's move on to Saturday. Let's go to the SEC and border war here, Missouri and Arkansas. Arkansas and Boy, at home, boy, we had them there on this week against Texas, and I mean, I think the first TV timeout, the first under 16 timeout, it was like 23-5. I mean, Arkansas, same old, 8-1 at home, 4-4 on the road. They travel to Como here to take on Missouri. Missouri is Lenardi's. They're in, but. Yeah, that 59, 57 NET, that metric they lean up so heavily, is kind of, come on, man. Maybe they can deliver a blow here. They could probably solidify their bid for sure. Missouri catching 3.5. That line is out right now. I think that line might creep up a little recency bias because Arkansas was so strong on a standalone spot.
Yeah, I would agree in exactly what you were saying. I was going to mention myself as the way Arkansas plays at home. I think I heard a stat that they're the number one offensive efficiency team at home. But as you mentioned, they're not the same team on the road. This is the game that stood out to me the most tomorrow. I'm going to be playing Missouri. I don't have it available to me at the moment where I'm located, but hopefully they'll be popping up a little bit quicker than usual because there's not as many games tomorrow as, we have all these tournaments today and the past couple of days. But I like Missouri. This team has wins over Florida, Auburn, Miss State, Vandy, and Tennessee at home. They're 6-2 conference or home record. Like you said, Arkansas a little shaky on the road, 4-4. I know that big game recency bias is in effect, but it's on the road after a big game like that where two of your star players get almost 30 points. I think it's a little bit of a letdown spot here for Arkansas and a must-win game for Missouri. Give me the points at home as a strong Missouri Tigers team at home with those big wins over the teams I mentioned.
I put that one out on a podcast earlier this week. We're on the same page there. Another one we're on the same page here is Miami. We're projecting this line to be plus 1.5. Now you got to look with Mikel Brown. Mikel Brown played half the game last Saturday against Clemson in a loss there. We had Clemson, so we did what he sat out completely the midweek game this week. Why would you rush him back? He's listed as questionable for this game at Miami. How about Jay Lucas, first-year coach in Miami? They won their last 9 of 11 and beaten some good teams away from home as well. We're talking about Florida State, NC State, some others beat North Carolina. How first-year coaches improve over the course of the season. Miami's playing their best ball right now. It's going to be very close to a pick 'em at home against Louisville, which probably will be without Mikel Brown.
Yeah, I don't understand this line, especially if Mikel Brown's not going to play. Like you said, he sat out the midweek game. The game against Clemson, he was 0 for 6 on three-point land. So maybe his ego is hurt more than his whatever injury he has. I don't know. Who knows with these guys? The best players don't like to play anymore. Yeah. I thought the whole point was to play basketball and enjoy the college experience and try to get your team into the tournament. But I want to echo the comments you're saying about John Lucas. This guy is a great coach. He's got a great demeanor. He's got a great defensive system. He's got his team playing absolutely sensational basketball. They've won 7 of their last 8. The only loss was that close game to Virginia where they had a shot to tie it the last second of the game. They lost a 1-point game to Cal, which was kind of you don't want to lose to Cal too often. But they've been good. They've been fortunate with the schedule, kind of like my Patriots. Fortunate with the schedule. They didn't have to play Duke this year, which makes no sense. But I really like them, and I feel if Brown's not going to play, give me the 1.5. I saw DraftKings did come out 1.5. I was just texting with our friend Mitch Moss. We were discussing about this Miami game, and I said I have a crazy ticket on them to make the Final Four at 55-1. So I think it's one of those teams that they can throw a crazy defense at you, something you haven't seen. The demeanor of Lucas, they're pretty efficient on offense. They're not just one of these like non-scoring teams. They're top 50 in both offense and defense. So it's a team that could cause problems for someone in the tournament, in the big tournament. If I can get to the Sweet 16, then we can start hedging the ticket.
Toppin got knocked out for the season, ACL, and said, well, okay, here comes the fade. But the fallen soldier kind of theory. All right, you can rally short term, a game or two. Well, Texas Tech did it for 3 games, one straight up and against the spread, including last Saturday. And I had Iowa State at home against Ames, laying about 9.5. It finished 9. Texas Tech won by 9. It was not that close. It was worse. I mean, Texas Tech laid it on them. Finally, it catches up with them midweek this week as they lose at home by 9. And or 8 or 9, and we're laying 8 or 9 against TCU. Now they travel to Provo to take on BYU. Max, do we have a projected line here?
About BYU -2.
About BYU -2. I like that one as well. You do also, Chris. What you looking at here?
Yeah, I was on Texas. I was on Iowa State with you on Saturday, but I luckily was on TCU on Tuesday. I just felt it was a rise of emotions with Toppin going out. You win 3 games, 2 of them kind of a big time games, and then you got this little lull in the schedule against TCU, a team that's kind of on the bubble. And hey, TCU, give them credit; they played great. I don't think it was that Texas Tech played bad. I think TCU actually played really well. But now you got to go again on the road one more time to BYU, a place where BYU plays great. Only 3 home losses all year. As we mentioned before, 2 to really good teams, Houston and Arizona. And then UCF, probably a tournament team. You know, they got that blowout a couple weeks ago. But I think Texas Tech kind of the balloon's probably, the air's probably out of the balloon here. You know, they probably realize they're not going to make a deep run without Toppin. And BYU needs this win. We were texting the other night about if BYU just loses out and loses the first round of the tournament, does the committee say, hey, because you don't have Saunders, is this a tournament team? And I question what they'll say. I know the bubble is weak, but they've just been pretty erratic. They've lost 3 in a row, and this is their moment to kind of save the season. Final home game. The dancer's never going to be. He's obviously going to the pros, so it's his last home game there. You figure they rally the troops and beat Texas Tech.
I like that. I like that as well. I didn't bring it up before, so it's not my original thought, but I'm with you on that one. Laying is 2. I think that line may
This is
move.
scary, Jimmy. We're on too many sides together.
I know. And you know what's funny is now, Max, I'll bring you on here for this one as well. We talked about Jai Lucas. I think it's pronounced Jay, but anyway, whatever. It's spelled Jai. The son of John Lucas, who prepped in the Houston area, played somewhere, then transferred to Texas. But anyway, we're talking about his demeanor on the sidelines. Max, what was a calm, stoic? Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay. Did you hear Chris? He said, describing his demeanor as a great demeanor on the bench. Now, is that described like my demeanor when you bring up the Mannings when us 3 are hanging out?
Oh, the same.
Huh, Chris?
The same. It was.
Hey, I'm telling you now, I get a little hyper, but one thing I am very good at is I'm very perceptive. I'm watching things. I can do many things at the same time. It's one of my few talents that I have, and I do notice that this John Lucas guy. I'm just telling you, when the game's going crazy and it's a little erratic, he is completely calm. I almost compare him. I mean, this is a weird comparison. Not many people will get this, but I'll compare him to Al Skinner, who used to be the coach at Rhode Island and Boston College.
Yeah.
So no matter what was going on in the game, he never got rattled. And the players feed off of that. They don't get worked up. The coach is going all crazy. They start going crazy. The players emulate the coach, and I like the fact that he has that calm demeanor, and that's going to go a long way in the future, and hopefully it goes a long way in this year's tournament. And I want to give you one more thing. You mentioned fixed odds. I played 15-1 on the Chief Wallaby in the Derby. He finished second in the Fountain of Youth at Gulfstream last Saturday. He had a super wide trip while the favorite Commandment had the inside. So I think on a fair track, he would probably beat Commandment. And I think 15-1, Bill Mott, Junior Alvarado, good price.
When you have a bad beat at Del Mar and I'm by your side and you complain about me taking one of your damn beers out your bucket, okay, I'll say Jai Lucas, okay? All right? I
like that.
Good luck to you, brother. We appreciate it. Have fun in Vegas.
All right, have a great weekend, guys.
Yes, indeed. Don't comment.
No.
Chris, the situation Macero, you coined him that week.
When he said great to me, I was like, I'm not forgetting that one. My man is super, super chill on the sidelines for Miami. Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Mariana Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith, our dream team at Legacy Title. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody choose but you. Choose Chad Reynolds in Legacy Title 296-0060. Legacy Title, full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. A great long-standing staff, our great team at Legacy Title, a long-standing contributor here on our show.
Live at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Port. Top-notch tools and expert advice. It's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at ThibodeauStore.com.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. They're an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummings generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. After further review with Matt Moscona. Weekday afternoons at 3 on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net, Handycast on YouTube on LSU Baseball. Brought to you by Supreme Rice, celebrating 90 years in business here in 2026. Go to SupremeRice.com.
Let's go to Troy Macker again over at Bet Rivers. Troy, how you doing, buddy? We're coming down the stretch last weekend of the regular season. Now, some of the mid-majors already started their conference tournament, but my azaleas are blooming a little bit early here, so they usually bloom a championship week or the first week of the Final Four. But how you doing, man? It's your time of the year as well.
Oh, yes, indeed. It is. This is one of my favorite Fridays, this Friday, next Friday, and the following 2 Fridays are just top notch. Like you mentioned, some of the mid majors are having their tournaments. There's 25 elimination games today, 6 games before 3 p.m., which is great news. That's one of the biggest parts of why I love March Madness and college basketball down the stretch is afternoon games, especially the court games and teams playing for their lives. Certainly, some of these games aren't the world's best games, but the hoops is hoops, and I'm very excited for what we got over the
next Thursday is my favorite day because you got the quadruple headers in the SEC, the Big 12, the Big 10, and it's the big boys there. And the ones that end, so like the Big East ends on a Saturday, which one of the others? SEC plays their final on Sunday, Big 10 plays theirs on a Sunday, ACC plays their final on Saturday.
There's only like 2 games on Sunday night.
So the mornings, so the ACC doesn't have a morning session on Friday. They do on Thursday. So Thursday you've got 5 quadruple headers in a major conference, and then you got some A-10, and you got some, Mountain West, and like that. Next Thursday is my favorite day.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against that. I mean, I just love when there's a full slate of day games to lead in the night games. And, while this has been a pretty chalk-heavy year, at least up until the last few weeks, we've seen a lot of upsets. But anything is possible. I really look at this week a little bit stronger just because, there's obviously all the discussion about mid-majors versus high majors and at-larges and things like that. Well, this is the time of year where you look at the number 1 teams in mid-major conferences, teams like High Point, teams like Belmont, Tennessee State. This is where it's obviously Miami. They really need to win. And because, they're not getting in, and I think you have a better tournament when you have the best mid-majors. And now, UMBC did not win their regular season. They weren't the 1 seed when they beat Virginia. I don't believe FDU was the number 1 seed in their conference when they beat Purdue. So there are teams who aren't the top teams that are capable of winning games in March Madness, but I like to see the best mid-majors. That gives them, I think you can get really deep runs there, and it's just the quality of basketball is better. And, last year, as we mentioned, it was very chalky, very limited upsets. So let's see if we can get some really good teams in and really shake things up.
13 to 16 seeds went over last year in the tournament. And, I mean, it's where the mid-majors are getting poached. And listen, that's what makes it. But I'm very concerned, and we can't just dig our head in the sand. I mean, it's going to be hard for these mid-majors. It's harder than ever for these mid-majors to try and compete when they get into the tournament. But the best chance is, like you said, get those High Points in there. Get those Belmonts in there, those teams the better teams in the mid-majors to get in there. Where do you weigh in on the Miami-Ohio situation? Say they lose tonight and lose again. Say they're 31-2. Say 32-1. Either one of those to get in. Where do you weigh in on that conversation?
So I think if they win tonight against Ohio, you put them in. And to your point on, it's going to be very hard for mid-majors to compete with the high majors, as with the NIL and the transfer portal. Well, here's the thing. What we know about basketball is it's impossible to go undefeated. It is so hard. Everyone loses games. We can pick apart good teams that have bad losses to teams outside the top 50 in KenPom, top 150 in KenPom. So, that's what I love about basketball. Any team can beat any team on any given night. What Miami's doing is spectacular. I'm of the belief that if you go perfect regular season, you should get an automatic bid to the tournament because it's very hard to win every single game. It's very hard to not lose, especially when now everyone is focused on you. You're getting every team's best shot. You're playing tighter. I don't care if they're beating bad Western Michigan teams at the buzzer. You're winning games, and teams need to be winning games right now to keep their tournament life afloat, and they're not losing. So I put them in. Now, if they lose to Ohio and lose in their first tournament game, I cede to the people with the numbers and the math can make that decision. But if they go undefeated, essentially beating Ohio tonight, it doesn't matter what they do in their conference tournament. They should be in.
You know what the streak is in Athens at Ohio in this series? Charlie, you too? Troy?
No clue.
Four,
I know it's a big game.
14 years straight, Ohio has won at home against Miami, Ohio. Another.
Sounds like a lot.
Yes, 14 years in a row they're going into, and they have fallen under the number. Fading Miami, Ohio against the spread has been a little bit profitable. They barely hung on to win, during the week this week, but there you have it. So a lot of people, and Bruce Pearl's the wrong messenger, okay, on this whole thing. You want to tell me they scheduled absolute garbage non-conference? Yes. But you know how many teams have gone undefeated in the MAC last 20 years?
None.
Zippola.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Troy, you look at – I'm sorry?
Does Auburn go 30-0 if they play Ohio's schedule? I don't think so.
No, probably not. Probably not. There's that's it. But Miami, Ohio, certainly not. Any team is worthy, but no, they have the most single possession wins of any undefeated team in the history of college basketball, 7 right now. So but they could have scheduled a little bit tougher, but this is a decent league. But how decent is it now that most of their players are getting poached by the major programs? I found one, Charlie. Miami, Ohio's best player last year, first team All-MAC, did return to Miami, Ohio. Now the nega, people on the other side will say, well, because he didn't get any offers. That's how bad.
How much different would we feel about them if they had scheduled Michigan and UConn, lost both of those games by double digits, and they were 28-2 now instead?
Right.
Would we feel better?
A little bit, yeah, because they tried to schedule. Because I can't. You didn't try hard enough. If their non-conference schedule is a joke, it is bad. So you set yourself up for criticism there. But it leaves you no room for error, and they went undefeated. So.
Right.
Anything else, Troy?
At some point, the winning has to matter. And also, when we're talking about, we obviously give out 31 AQs and then, 37 at-larges? Like, come on, we're picking 37. We can use one, throw a team a bone for doing something that everyone's talking about when no one ever talks about Miami of Ohio. This isn't we're trying to find the best 12 teams in college football. It's a different metric beast. And this idea that you want the best team in and that getting Auburn or whoever is, right on the out, Indiana, they're not the best team. We're talking about the teams in the 40s and 50s. Put Miami in. And as for this weekend, obviously Duke in North Carolina, the rematch after that great game, and there's just a ton of big bubble matchups. Teams surging like Cincinnati is taking on TCU. That's a very important game. Florida State's playing a lot better. They play SMU. That's a very important game. Florida at Kentucky, that's going to be interesting. Vanderbilt at Tennessee, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very fun Saturday for sure.
Awesome Saturday. Look, for the record, me and Charlie are on your side. We want to see Miami in the tournament as well.
Right.
And just bringing up the other side, which our buddy Paul Stone is on the other side of this, and he gets fired up. Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Machir, MACHIR. Enjoy the college basketball weekend, Troy. We'll get the recap on Monday.
You guys do the same. Thank you.
All right, United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, Prentice Wilkes. Discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988. Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. A personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
SEC Women's Tournament in Greenville, South Carolina, leading Kentucky at the half, 44-27. LSU and Oklahoma go at 1:30. The winners get South Carolina, who just had a stranglehold on this tournament. They played it 7 times in this building since 2017. South Carolina's won it 6 of those times, record of 18-1 in those games, so they're going to be hard to beat there. Max, what's going on in Orlando?
Daniel Berger has extended his lead a little bit this morning. He is through 4 holes, 1 under today at 10 under par, 4-shot lead over Ludwig Oberg, Sahith Tagala, and consensus pick Colin Morikawa, who goes off in 15 minutes.
Wow. Okay, we in the hunt. We in the hunt, Charlie.
At the Arnold Palmer over in Orlando. Bruce Marshall is with us in hour number 2. Ace Seminara with us as well. So we'll get some more picks for you. We'll also talk a little bit of LSU baseball. That is in hour number 2 here at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
There's more than one way to listen to ESPN Baton Rouge on the radio at 104.5 and 104.9 and 98.1 HD2. Online at 1045ESPN.com and with the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford.
104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. He's out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
Charlie, as we bring Bruce on, we got to remind everybody that, Ruffino's, we're a big part, a big participant in Crawford. You like Crawford, right?
I am a huge fan of crawfish.
Yes, I am too, man. An unforgettable culinary event celebrating Louisiana's love for crawfish, gourmet dishes, local beverage vendors, and distilleries for a great, great cause. Children nutrition and health. It's going to be on Sunday, March 22nd at a new location, Live Oak at Cedar Lodge. That's where Federalis Fest was.
Yeah.
It's great, great setting. VIP tickets are $150. The VIP experience includes reserved seating, private courtyard access, dedicated full-service bar, and exclusive culinary offerings not available in a general admission. General admission is $75. For kids, it's $25. So 12 boilers of crawfish as well. Professional boilers can still join us, and for a chance to win bragging rights as the best boiler in the city. Public will vote for their favorite boiler and dish, and a blind vote by celebrity guest judges too. I ain't got any invite yet, but I'm available. Music, the Blue Crab Redemption Band, Cooking Expo, Food Network, Chef Rosh doing a crawfish cooking expo. Proceeds benefit, again, the Baton Rouge Epicurean Society's mission to improve childhood nutrition, health, education, and food security throughout the greater Baton Rouge area. Charity partners, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Knock Knock Children's Museum, Breda Farmers Market, Kids Sprouts Program, Girls in the Run, CASA, LRA, Pro Start. Tickets available at www.epicbr, epicbr.org, epicbr.org, epicbr.org. Come on, man, I'll work. What's the date again? Huh? I mean, I'm giving it out before I know what. Sunday, March 22nd. That's the first weekend of March Madness?
It is.
Second weekend, I'm going to Tuscaloosa, my parents' weekend.
Okay. You want to work like part-time?
Can we do it? Can we move it up like 10 a.m.?
Yeah.
No, they stagger. That first weekend, they stagger. They give
do?
us two. Yeah. I mean, they push. Yeah, I'm good.
All the
I'm
way
good.
up to the night.
Come on.
It's good. All right.
Put
it out
wait
there.
up, and I think Megan included this too, and a private viewing area for March Madness. Yes.
Well, they put that in especially for you, right?
Speaking of which, going back to our roots, Brucey boy, Brucey
How about
Marshall.
this?
Huh?
Big-
Wait, what? Did I hear right?
Back to the Future?
Huh? You going back to Gold Sheet, man?
I'm already back. By the way, I was going to say I will offer to come down as a judge on March 22nd too. So,
Brucey, I tried to throw as many of the South Louisiana delicacies at you as possible, huh? I mean, we went and ate oysters, raw, char grilled, did gumbo, sent you to Louisiana lagniappe. I mean, I tried to throw it with the chimes. I mean, we tried to throw as many things at you when you came in town for that LSU Vandy game. What year was that, Bruce?
09.
09.
I'm coming back, by the way. I will be back eating football. But yes, I am. How about this? I feel like one of these NHL coaches like Rick Bowness, coaching Winnipeg for 3 times or whatever he's done. But I am back for my 3rd stint at the Gold Sheet. Boy, life is quite a circle. I mean, these are the same guys we sold the company to, several years back, and they're part of it's the Wager Talk umbrella now. But they still have the Gold Sheet, and they said, we want you back, and do your thing. And I said, okay, I'm still kicking, so I'm doing basketball stuff now, football. We'll roll it out big. Bruce is back. Gold Sheet is still alive and kicking, and here we go. Back to the Future is right.
So what get us caught up where Gold Sheet is? I mean, besides their affiliation with the Wager Talk. I mean, do we still get?
They are,
I mean, because
when we sold, it's part of it's under the Wager Talk umbrella now. So Wager Talk is the major site. Gold Sheet is now part of Wager Talk.
Okay.
But it's a good part of it, and so it's in the Wager Talk site, and Gold Sheet is there, and then you'll see me a lot more stuff on the Wager Talk too. Plus, I mean, they got the YouTube channel and podcasts and things like that. So I'll be getting a lot more involved with that stuff, certainly as we ramp that up for football season. So hey, I'm You know, I'm not retired yet. This is still fun for me.
You ain't retiring. No. You know, listen, we'll soften your hours if you want to take your kids to that damn Palo Alto, you know, and tell them that's real football. Okay, we'll let you do that crap. Okay, but I got it pulled up right now, wagertalk.com, and there across the main menu, across the top is Wager Talk TV podcast betting tips gold sheet. So there we are. All right, good job. You excited, huh? It's always nice to be acknowledged for your, you know, to be valued for your content.
Yeah, you know, they said they want old school stuff, and you can't get more old school than me, I guess. But they love it. It's just like, I started writing the basketball. It was just like before. I mean, the format's sort of the same, and I'm just entering the game. So we had, you know, I got 10 write-ups up there for today for the college games, and my friend James Bunting is handling the NBA, and I'm doing the colleges right now, and we will get this cranking for the fall, too. Very excited. It's good to be wanted, that's for sure.
Nobody better, nobody more thorough than you on, and also the ability to articulate it and verbalize it in layman terms for a lot of our audience on these mid-majors, and we're right in the middle of all that. I don't know if you're going to Orleans or checking out some place in summer. They're y'all scattered out all over out the city for these conference tournaments. How many are in Las Vegas this weekend and next?
There's four, and there should be five because the Pac-12 was here and will return, I'm pretty sure, next year. I'm waiting for the Big Ten to show up here, too. Apparently, now the Orleans, they tipped it off last night with the WCC, and once Gonzaga gets involved, the tickets will be that they've already sold out the last couple nights there.
Yeah.
The Mountain West at the Thomas and Mack, and I'm here. Then the WAC will go to the Orleans after the WCC is done, and the Big West comes next week here to Henderson, which is really like a 5-6 minute walk from my house to the nice little Lee's Family Forum here in Henderson. So I'll be just strolling over to the Big West next week.
Is Green Valley Ranch in Henderson?
Yes, that's where I live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right
Okay.
right here. Yeah. New arena's right there, right across
Nice.
from Green Valley Ranch.
Yeah. Look, Orange County to Henderson. Charlie, I mean, you know. I mean, you know, this guy, he's uptown Brucey. I mean, you know.
I know which one he likes better.
Yeah. Oh, he loves Southern California. You don't let him kid you, especially L.A. But anyway, Brucey, where do you weigh in on this Miami, Ohio situation? No team has, I don't know, it's been a long, long time that a team, I don't think ever, has gone through the MAC undefeated. But the mid-majors are not what they used to be, okay? Hence, 13 to 16 seeds last year. None of them won in March Madness last year. They're not dead yet. They were able to retain a first-team All-MAC player from last year, which is rare in this era, that is not poached by the bigger higher budget programs. But they are undefeated, and the selection committee entertained the media a couple of weeks ago, and they did out a scenario if they would lose in a final to Akron. And then again, I mean, if they go, you know, they haven't won in Akron, Ohio in 14 seasons. It's 14 years in a row, so they got that to overcome tonight. But where do you weigh in if they have one or two losses and as a non-tournament winner for an at-large?
Well, I think they should still get a look. I think they should probably be, and that's just me. Tonight it's at Miami. I'm sorry, at Ohio U tonight. Ohio U hosts Miami O tonight.
Athens. I might have said Akron. Athens, yeah.
Yeah, in Athens, and that could be dicey. I mean, 5.5-point favorite. I'd probably take Ohio U because Miami has cut it close. My thought is this, and I wish the committee people, I don't think there's any reason for them to rush and say, you know, what the seedings would be right now. All that matters is Selection Sunday. This goes for football too. Just wait till the end. You don't have to put all that stuff out there beforehand. But if a team as opposed to in major conferences where, you know, 9th, 10th, 11th place teams, you want to, okay, they should be in the tournament. I don't know. Listen, if you're a 10th or 11th in a major conference, it's pretty sure you're not going to win the whole thing. You've already had a whole season worth against these sorts of teams. You're not among the contenders. So why not give a team that might only have one loss out of the Mid-American Conference a look? So what? They get 2 bids. Listen, this whole deal with the tournament, this is the major conferences and what they've done with the net and how they've created a system that does not really punish a team for a conference loss. The whole metrics of it are so slanted away from the mid majors like this. I would hope they could throw a bone to a team like Miami O if it should lose in the next week, and say they hit Selection Sunday with 1 loss. It'd be a travesty if they don't get in there. One point to illustrate this a little more. The other night, I think, now the net changes every day, but New Mexico lost a game at home to a red-hot Colorado State the other night. When Colorado State might win the Mountain West tournament, that got racked up as a quad 3 loss for New Mexico. At the same time, I believe Purdue was playing Northwestern on the road that night.
Right.
But because Northwestern, I think, was right at 75 in the net, Purdue wins really close. Didn't play that well. That gets counted as a quad 1 win for Purdue. Colorado State is better than Northwestern right now. No question in my mind. Yet New Mexico really got banged in all the measurables, because now you got a quad 3 loss on there. And Purdue, it didn't, they get another quad 1 win. You see, there's an inequity built into this thing. And a lot of it's subjective, and it's where they just automatically, okay, you're in the Big Ten, well, you're going to be ranked higher, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything other than just a perception. And I think that's flawed. And I would hope Miami O gets in, but I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't. That's the way this stuff works.
Yes, indeed.
And I give you one out of the Southeastern Conference. I got the first one and kind of shrugged it off. Missouri beat Mississippi State last Saturday. Okay, Mississippi State's not any good. They're 108 in the net. They bumped up 7 spots after that. They lose to Oklahoma on the road on Tuesday night. They give damn near the whole thing right back. They go back 6 spots. Yeah. And so I get that it's your opponents and all that. But Missouri, with a winning record in the league, is down to 59 in the net. I mean, right this second, I don't know if they're in.
Lenardi has them officially listed as, or should be in.
Yeah.
And I think tomorrow with their game against Arkansas, it's a chance to really kind of finalize it. But no, their non-conference is not as strong as their conference record. And listen, and Bruce, we got to be careful with these. With the conferences going 16, 18, 19 teams, there are weighted schedule. Not every schedule is, created equally like the old days when you'd play all 9 opponents, a 10-team league, non-home and everybody played the same schedule. Home and away. All the teams. It can be weighted. It could be shifted. We know that in football. I mean, my goodness, SMU, when they got in the playoff last year, didn't play Clemson, Miami. They didn't play any of the top teams in the quasi ACC team in Notre Dame. So they could be shifted. I think to me, Bruce, Missouri showed me some maturity after they beat Tennessee and went down to Mississippi State and handled business. At the under-12 timeout, it's over. It's like 25, and it never got closer than 20. They ran into a buzzsaw, double buzzer beater revenge for Oklahoma. Probably the toughest luck loss of the season. Back-to-back buzzer beaters at the end of regulation and overtime to lose that game in Columbia, talking about Oklahoma. So, your thoughts on Missouri?
Yeah, I think Missouri should probably in. And listen, I get it. I mean, these, some leagues, there are, 10, 11. Last year, what we have, 14 in the SEC last year?
Yes.
That was a little excessive, but no, I think, they should probably be there by the parameters that they have set up. It's just that my overarching thought here is that this is a business, and the big conferences have created something that rewards themselves with more bids for the tournament. and they've created this debt. And this is the thing: you really don't get punished too much for losses. Even if Purdue lost that game to Northwestern the other night, that would have been that would not have been a bad loss for Purdue. Yet, like New Mexico, that was a crushing loss they had against Colorado State. But back to Missouri. Yeah, I think Missouri's in there. By the way, you mentioned Oklahoma there. I think Porter Moser might be saving his job. That team they could cause some trouble in Nashville next week. I'm really interested. It looks like Florida's like Godzilla now in the league. But I'll tell you, all the way down except for right at the bottom, I'm not sure LSU or Mississippi State are going to do much, or Ole Miss. But from Oklahoma up, listen, we could see some upsets in Nashville next week.
Tonight and tomorrow night, Brucey, the schedule as we creeping up against the break here, your best bets, especially in these mid-major conferences that we just are not as knowledgeable with.
Well, here we go. By the way, there are a couple of interesting ones tonight. In Arch Madness, my favorite tournament in St. Louis, where they have tipped it off already with Bradley playing Drake right now. Drake won a little bit of an upset yesterday. Nightcap, Northern Iowa, Illinois State. Northern Iowa ended up finishing sixth in that league, so they had to play the extra game yesterday, and they kind of struggled a bit against Evansville, but they had to save a little bit of their energy. Illinois State won two very, very close games over Northern Iowa this season. I think Northern Iowa gets them tonight. They've been playing much better down the stretch. Trey Campbell, guard, has put up some really good numbers lately, as Ben Jacobson has sort of taken the reins off of that offense. So I would definitely give Northern Iowa a look in that one. How about this one real quick? Down in Jacksonville, Queens, they are eligible for the dance this year, and they got a shot in the Atlantic Sun. They're playing at the big arena in Jacksonville, by the way. West Georgia, not eligible for the dance, but they're not bad. They can score a lot of points. The total here, low 160s. I think they might go over that. One other one in the Atlantic 10 tonight. Watch out for Dayton. Anthony Grant, we're hearing rumors he may be ready to retire, but they are playing extremely well lately. And they do play VCU, which is also playing well lately.
Yeah.
But Dayton gets VCU at home. They just beat the Billikens last week. And they have this French center called Amir Letam. Ooh la la. I mean, he is scoring some points lately. And so I would give Dayton a shot in what should be a good one tonight at home against VCU.
Dayton, Anthony Grant, Charlie, remember when we're aging ourselves. Remember when he was like the young understudy, and in VCU, and he was connected to all the AAU programs in Florida and stuff like that. Now he's full of gray.
He was going to get the Florida job when Billy Donovan left for the Magic and came back a week later.
I know.
He was going to get that job. Got the VCU. He's
VCU
Alabama Dayton.
Went from VCU.
Yeah, he was at Alabama for a while. He coached at VCU and Dayton, both playing against his old team tonight.
Bruce, man, we're excited about, and I hear it in your tone, excited as well about the reconnection with the Gold Sheet. Again, go to wagertalk.com and click on it's on the main menu as far as Bruce, the Gold Sheet, all of their content. Nobody does it better than you as far as, just the because there's never anything over 30 years I could throw at you that you weren't prepared for. So I cannot say that. I can only say that for one of our guests over 36 years. Congratulations, Brucey.
That's benefit of being old, I guess, huh? There you go.
We're in the same club. Good luck to you, Bruce, man. We appreciate it. We're excited next week. We might have to dip into you for some of these other games for multiple appearances next week. Thank you, buddy. Enjoy the weekend. Good luck to you.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Have
Bruce,
fun, boys. Thank
Bruce
you.
Marshall now back with the Gold Sheet, Charlie. Back when my eyes were good. I mean, now they're good again. I mean, I got to get that. Remember the publication of print was so small?
Yeah, you had if you got it on print, you're trying to widen it, and it's like, wait a minute, this is a piece of paper. Hang on, I got to go back to my screen.
Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. AC Heating, general installations, maintenance, generators as well. We're an authorized dealer for Generac and Cummins. As far as AC units, we're factory authorized dealers for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem products. Service today, every day. That's our slogan. That means you call today, you get service today. We are starting to lean on those AC units. So if there's a problem, give us a call at 480-1000. And not too late to take it, but very late. Don't have much time left, but if you do have a unit that's over 10 years old, it was serviced last summer when they were stressed, call us up at 480-1000. We'll get a technician out to you, and we'll weigh out the options that you have, because up to $5,500 available now, but a short window left on select units to replace that unit. So now, better time than ever before it really gets hot to replace that unit if it is necessary. 480-1000, Total Maintenance.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme, or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Workbox.
Hey guys.
Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial and Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop.
Like, our internet's not great. I'm just going to reconnect, but there's nothing we can do. We've still got AT&T, so.
Has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daycare,
How are we
and
now,
AC
Jordan?
units for Generac and.
A little better.
A little better? I mean, I just reconnected, but.
I mean, it sounds better than it would have was. It was like, it was sounding like
Huh.
one of those where it's like you say something and like cut out like midway you say.
Yeah, occasionally we've had problems with the tower here at Ruffino's.
Well, now it doesn't sound now it sounds good. So this.
Okay, hopefully.
Before, like I couldn't even hear y'all in the background. Like that's how bad it was cutting in and
Oh,
out.
wow.
Okay, we gotta do something about this. Yeah, so I'll keep monitoring it, but it sounds way better.
Yep, just let me know if it goes bad again.
No, I got you.
All right, thanks.
The next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend, Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 1045 ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN 1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, the chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
College football talk all year long on the Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Charlie, tell me what's wrong with the Tigers. Tell me how to fix it.
They're not hitting. Are we
worried, Charlie?
No.
Okay. All right. I thought so.
But we said this earlier in the week. I'm not worried overall, but you can also say that they're not playing well right now. Two things can be true. They're playing in a 3-game set against Sacramento State this final weekend before SEC play starts. You've got a team coming in here that has been really, really hard-pressed to score runs. In their last 4 games, they have scored an average of 2.5 runs. And for the season at 3-9, they had 3 wins against St. Joseph. Everybody else has beat them pretty good. So this is an opportunity for you to get well. A year ago, they were pretty good. They won their league. They are not good this year. This is really more about what LSU can do. And what I would like to see this weekend is some clean fielding of the baseball, particularly behind the plate. I'd like to see some more focused in at bats. I'd like to see them get off to a better start. But I'm going to caution you, you're going to have to look game inside the game. There's a pretty good chance that LSU's 3 starting pitchers, given what they have done the first 3 weeks against this team, are going to go in there and just shove. And LSU could win these games 5-1, 6-1, and 7-0, and not really make the kind of step. I know that those top 3 starting pitchers can go out there and dominate a team like Sacramento State. Now, if they don't, then God bless. But that's what I'm expecting there.
We're not worried about dominating Sacramento State.
No,
We're worried
I'm not
about
either.
fine-tuning for next weekend.
That's exactly my point. So what I would like to see is a much crisper fielding group. And, Hunt makes a point. Listening to him yesterday, and we kind of made the point, too. The pitcher errors, all right, you have an errant throw to first base on a pickoff move or second base like they did in the game the other night, whatever. But we're talking about at second. We're talking about behind the plate. A little bit in left field. I don't know if Stanfield's going to play it all this weekend. But the much more crisper fielding, much more focused in at bats. They did a lousy job last weekend of taking advantage of the situations. We talked about it a bunch this week. The 14 walks, the 5 hit batters. You're just not making them pay for things like that. And it's got to be more than just Brown and Curiel and maybe a little bit Milam. It's got to be the meat of that order. Game against Lafayette the other night, top 2 guys get 5 hits, a 9-hole hitter. Caraway hit 1 out. The 3 through 8-hole hitters went 1 for 21. I don't want to see those kind of lulls. I'd like to see more consistent offensive pressure, more quality at bats this weekend, and a better fielding effort. So the opponent is not the is not the focus. That'll be a week from now when they go to Vanderbilt. This is about, can you get better? Are you going to get better? And Jay Johnson said they were going to basically lock in over the last couple of days, get into their schedule, and get in this weekend. So we'll see. 6:30, 6 o'clock, and 1 o'clock are your 3 times, weather permitting, at Alec Bucks Stadium.
Things are starting to shape up as we get to, we look at the non-conference schedule. Watched a great game with Mississippi State down in Hattiesburg against Southern Miss. I think Southern Miss left a little bit on the field that way. It was an awesome atmosphere because then they lose the next night to Nicholls State. No, Nicholls played well and beat them by 1 point at Pete Taylor Park, which is just a great atmosphere for college baseball. Shout out to Camden Sumstrom, too, who's putting up some wins in midweek action right now on the Hill, former U-High Cub. So did a good job there. Maybe, I don't know, with his kids next year. This is it now. The dog gets out. This is the last year because he's going from Ruston with the younger one to Hattiesburg. So make sure the dog's alive. This year last little 6 months where the dog runs in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Just making sure. So anyway, but as we finalize the non-conference and try and project what's going to happen, the strength. Look, the money. We know the money that they had. Player budget, not just salary, coach's salary, to get a guy like O'Connor out of Charlottesville, Virginia, into Starkville, Mississippi. They're real. Texas people love their team. We all respect Schlossnagle and the job that he's capable of doing. They're really. You ready to put out some opinions on the league? Maybe O'Sullivan maybe not as strong down in Gainesville. Is Georgia a contender again. How is Tennessee going to handle losing Vitello? Vanderbilt doesn't. There's some people who don't think Vandy is quite as potent as they've been in the years. So
Vandy's off to a very slow start. I would say the team that has caught my attention the most, and just because I've been watching them as close, is Mississippi State. And when we're talking about who can you get a price on, a little bit of a price on before the season started, we knew what kind of budget that they were looking at. Listen, if Jay Johnson is saying things publicly like LSU needs to go all in like some other schools have done, we know who he's talking about. Mississippi State is overspending in baseball because, well, their football budget is never going to match the heavyweights, but in baseball they can. Brian O'Connor was offered a lot of jobs to leave Virginia before he
over
finally,
the years, not just his past
right.
year,
Before he did, we know about the stadium, we know about the tradition there, and that
the support.
Yes, you talked about the game they played against Southern Miss. How about the game they played last Sunday against UCLA, who's number 1 in the country? The game in Dallas.
Tough extra inning loss.
Yeah. That
after winning the first two.
That one was one that went down. Was the extras?
Kind of thought they got a raw deal. Kind of got a tough call against them. But, yeah, it lost in extras. But nobody left that building. Rick Neuheisel even talked about it. He was coaching the UFL team in that area, so went to that game on Sunday because it was their day off. And so, nobody left that building saying that like, oh, no. They respected Mississippi State. They respected both teams. It was a high-level non-conference game early in the season.
I thought last year Ace Reese should have been the player of the year in the Southeastern Conference. He'll be in contention for that again, one of the best hitters in the country for Mississippi State. So they're real. That would be my biggest.
So they had the unceremonious, and we know they care. We know they take a lot of pride, and their facility is nothing. There's none better. Okay, and they were the first before Burtman. Burtman was trying to mimic their program when he first took over at LSU. Polk, with Polk and stuff. So the unceremonious departure of Canizero. Lamanis comes in and wins the whole thing, the first national championship in the history of your athletic department, including the women's side, who lost a tough one to Notre Dame a few years prior. And then you fire him 2-3 seasons later. No, they want to win, and they feel they can win, and that's the one sport that, I think they've come to the realization, yeah, that first college football committee playoff poll, we were number 1 with Dak Prescott and them. But they, can they realistically think they can compete at the highest level? They know they can in baseball, and they're all in on it. They're all in on it, and that's why they were able to offer not just coaches' budget, but player budget as well to get a guy like O'Connor out of a very comfortable situation in Charlottesville.
And they'll be in the Marquee Series to open SEC play. They go to Fayetteville to open up as 2 top 10 teams. That'll be a lot of fun. We're brought to you by the Pierre Part Store, the Thibodeau store, and now open in La Rose and Laplace as well. Jimmy been doing some gardening this week. If you're doing some gardening right now on the website, thethibodeaustore.com, up to 65% off of your lawn and garden tools, so shop now. All 4 of the facilities are available from the one website, thethibodeaustore.com. Same-day pickup on everything on the website, delivery available on a number of these things. The Scott 4-step seeding programs are available right now. All of your seeders and spreaders, your grass and weed control, potting and topsoil is available. So we get into spring, get your property up to speed, get all the tools and all the supplies that you need at the Thibodeau store. Patio furniture, outdoor cooking, outdoor power equipment. Again, the ThibodeauStore.com, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux and Highway 70 in Pierre Part.
Charlie, I was wondering earlier, Jimmy was talking about professional boilers, professional crawfish boilers.
Yeah.
I wondered what that was, but they probably went to the Thibodeau store for their
I would
stuff.
to get
Yes,
your gear.
Max.
To get your gear.
Yes.
Yeah.
A pro goes there.
Yes, get all of the pro equipment at the Thibodeau store.
I'll
Live,
sandbag on that one. I'm a novice.
live
Bring
at-
it on, Jack.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson, Edward Jones, member SIPC.
the Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Ruffino's live at lunch. LSU women's basketball going to be close to an on-time start at 1:30. South Carolina putting the finishing touches on Kentucky. 24-point lead for South Carolina with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Let's get to Ace Seminara out in New York, man. Busy schedule coming down the stretch here in college basketball. Ace been so kind to take some time out of his busy schedule of handicapping, and he's got 3 more for us today. Let's start off in Tennessee, Ace, in the SEC, and I'm seeing some difference in lines here right now. Our friends over at Bally's and in the Queen here locally, DraftKings outlets, they have 4.5. FanDuel has 5.5. This one's at Tennessee in Knoxville. This is a didn't Vandy win the first game? I think so. At home, or maybe not. Anyway, 4.5 or 5.5. Ace. The Vols at home favorite here.
Great to be on with you, Jimmy, and all your loyal listeners. I tell you, I get a lot of calls from you guys. and not no brown nose in here, Jimmy. These guys absolutely love you. Everybody tells me how loyal they are and how they listen to your show every single day, and for good reason. You're giving these guys a lot of good information, and I want to do the same thing. I'm offering a free texting service right now, 631-805-6165. Just text the words free picks. This time of the year with these tournament games going on, right, all at pretty much different sites where nobody's a home team. You might have one team maybe locally that has a home team other than maybe UNLV playing in the Thomas and Mack out there in the Mountain West Conference. These lines are going to be greatly adjusted for that. So you want help? Call me. Just text the word free picks, 631-805-6165. Simple text, no hassle, you're on board. Now let's get to that game, Jimmy. Yeah, SEC, they did play a couple of weeks ago, February 21st in Vandy. Tennessee pulled it out late, a couple of late stops, and then a couple of late conversions, pulled out the game 69-65. Played it more in their style of play. Coach Barnes doesn't want anybody running up and down. He likes that half-court defensive game. We had them last week on my free picks. It was one of the only free picks we lost last Saturday. Right? We also had a fantastic week on Wednesday, sort of 3 free picks that we gave out. So love for people to get on board these games. Let's talk about this game, though, here. Tyler Tanner, 34 points when they won at Mississippi the other night, Vanderbilt. Huge game in overtime to win that game. Their big man down low with 8 offensive rebounds. They almost played like Tennessee with 18 offensive rebounds. They have more options to score. Number 21 scoring team, in the country, 87 points per game. Tennessee's all about offensive rebounding and slowing it down. What I don't like at all, and it's been a bugaboo of Rick Barnes' teams going way, way back from any place he's been, number 279 in free throw percentage, while conversely, Vanderbilt, number 16 in free throws at 78%. I just think late in the games, even if Tennessee gets this game to be played more along their style, like they did in the first game in the 60s or low 70s, I like Vanderbilt's more opportunities to score, more weapons to score with the loss of Ament out there for Tennessee. Just way too much pressure on Gillespie to have to come up with the basket every single time at the end of a shot clock. I really didn't like the way they played last week against Alabama. They should have had that game won. Who has 25 offensive rebounds in a game and loses, Jimmy? Tennessee did. So give me the 5.5, as you mentioned. That line's now up to 5.5.
Yep.
Give me Vanderbilt and give me the 5.5 there in a huge revenge game.
All right, the big one, and boy, the games of the year. We talk about that Arkansas-Alabama game as being maybe the game of the year, but Duke-North Carolina round 1 was pretty damn good as well. And Duke, the number 1 overall seed, if this committee is doing it right now, and rightfully so after their win in D.C. against Michigan on a neutral site there. We don't know if Wilson's going to play or not, but this thing is right at 15. But one thing about it, Carolina's got Duke's attention after that loss earlier in this year. And they blew a double-digit lead, and so revenge here a factor as well. Wilson's availability is unknown. And how about Shire's crew? Number 1 in all the metrics defensively here, laying about 15 here in the Battle of Chapel Road tomorrow afternoon at Duke and NC.
Yeah, they went cold, as you mentioned. That last 5 minutes in that first game, they kind of went cold. They blew the lead. Carolina, give them credit. They came back and won the game. Wilson had 23 points in that game and played all 40 minutes. I don't think he's going to play this game whatsoever. From what I've heard, I even heard Hubert Davis on a couple of interviews. He's practiced this morning. Why push him? Why push him at all? Honestly, why push him even in the ACC tournament? Give this kid some rest and get yourself ready for what you need to do, which is at least get yourself to the Sweet 16 because he's going to be a one and done. So this is senior night tonight. Huge emotional game for Duke, no doubt at home. Revenge in capital letters, my friend. They are absolutely going to get all over Carolina. 7 straight wins since they lost that game, holding opponents to 58 points a game. Defense has just come to the forefront. They're literally forcing teams into bad shot after bad shot. Their defense, number 1 ranking on Ken Palm. You can see what they've done. It may as well be senior night for Boozer as well. Obviously, he's a one and done. They're going to celebrate him tonight just as if he was a senior. Expect Duke. I'll lay that 15 points tomorrow night. I don't care that they're laying that big of a number. That's an unheard of spread, and I think it's for a reason. They're going to sucker everybody in to take North Carolina. Give me Duke and lay the 15.5 comfortably. as they lay a whooping, an old-fashioned whooping on the Tar Heels.
All right, Toppin, you talk about the fallen hero, and you talk about fading him after losing a key an All-American in Toppin, but it didn't happen in the first 3 games. Texas Tech won and covered 3 in a row, including last Saturday, where they roll Iowa State in a very difficult place to win in Ames, Iowa, in 9. That the final score was no indication of just how bad they beat them. I was wrong. I had Iowa State last weekend. Finally, it caught up with Texas Tech. They lose as a 9-point favorite by 9 at home to TCU. Now they travel to Provo to take on the BYU Cougars. This line 1.5, 2.5 around. You're more interested in the money line here.
You know, this line, I saw it. I think I texted you early in the day. I said the line wasn't even out yet, but I made the line at 2.5, and that's exactly what the line is. But when you see that money line at 128, which is a little bit lower than what a 2.5 usually is, you can see 2.5 sometimes up to 140, 145. You know, I'm going to jump on BYU at home. Senior night again for them, huge emotional game. They've had an issue with losing Sanders. You know, they lost Sanders basically the exact same time that Texas Tech lost Toppin. You know, yeah, they came back, won 3 straight games, Texas Tech, with Toppin. Seems like they had just completely, you know, overcome his loss and were just scoring at will. Atwell hitting 3-pointers. Anderson, Christian, the other guard there, hitting 3-pointers all over the place. But what worries me about them, they was already a little bit of not of a deep team. Losing Toppin now, they're number 359 out of 365 teams in bench points. All right, and now you're going on the road playing at BYU. Yeah, they lost 3 straight after that impressive win against Iowa State back on February 21st. But this is, again, just like Boozer over in Duke, this is going to be DeBance's last game as well in BYU. And he's just a guy that, to me, is NBA ready, obviously, and a guy that steps up in big-time games. You know, they lost at Cincinnati on Tuesday there, one of the hotter teams right now in the Big 12. But I expect them at home. I expect BYU to put up an absolute monster of a game tonight. DeBance to put up, I wouldn't be shocked to see him put up 40 tonight. You know, he's going to be a one-man show, and absolutely expect BYU to get this game done. Again, Jimmy, I'd love for people to get on board. This is a great, great time of the year. All the sports mixing right now. NBA getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Even the World Baseball Classic going on right now. I mean, golf going on right now. The Masters around the corner. But college basketball, nothing is like college basketball right now. And I'm ready for it. We've been absolutely on fire. Text me, 631-805-6165. It's absolutely free. You text the words free picks to 631-805-6165, and you're on board. You'll get my top-rated plays every single day. Find out what it's like to get information from somebody who's been doing this professionally for
Good
40
job.
years.
You're 3-0.
Love to do nothing better than to help your people out.
3-0 on Tuesday. UCLA, UNC in a closing line -2, and 8 over Alabama, Georgia. So I like all 3 of your picks. Let's get them and get some winners tomorrow. Ace, again, 631-805-6165. It's not just college hoops, but he can put you together with whatever he likes in his opinions on the world of college, in the sports gambling. Ace, good luck to you this weekend, man. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
You too, Jimmy. Best of luck.
All right, you staying downtown for this week's college baseball games. Again, LSU in town this weekend. Now, they'll start the SEC schedule on the road in Nashville, but they'll come home the next week. So, but if you're in town, you staying downtown, the hotel's looking for a quick bite to eat, man, got a great place for you. It's Town Square Pizza, downtown on North, facing Town Square. Again, piping hot pizza. It's fresh. It's affordable. It's generous portions. I mean, the whole thing. You do some of our specialized pizza or create your own. You can do a gluten-free crust, or you can do a regular crust. You can do different type of sauces and mix and match however you want. You want a little extra on one of our specialty pizzas, extra onions, extra mushrooms, a little basil, whatever it is. Man, you talk about, you go down the line, they put it in those ovens, man, and it's done in about 8 minutes or so. And it's fresh. It is good. Really, really good. Check it out, man. You staying downtown within a 5-minute walk of all the major hotels downtown. It's Town Square Pizza.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your
Okay, Jordan, whenever you're ready.
It's rolling.
Join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road across from Ruffino's. We'll recap a big weekend in college basketball as the regular season comes to a close, and college baseball as well. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Monday from Chris's Specialty Foods on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Grostead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Grostead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
The Pierrepont store, and now the Thibodeau store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierrepont. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at ThibodeauStore.com.
This is Charles Henniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Click through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2. All college football, all year long. The Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
South Carolina beats Kentucky 87-64, so LSU and Oklahoma should start about on time at 1:30. Winner gets South Carolina in the SEC tournament semifinals tomorrow. Max, what's going on in Orlando?
Lead is unchanged. Daniel Berger, 4-shot lead over Ludwig Oberg, Sahith Thigala, and Colin Morikawa. Again, our consensus pick, Morikawa birdied the first hole, but bogeyed the second, the par 3. So he's on a par 5 now. Par 5s are where you score at Bay Hill, and so we'll see if he can get a birdie here. But our consensus picks were Colin Morikawa. He's 6 under, tied for second, as I mentioned. And then Rory McIlroy, who is 3 under through 15 holes today, tied for 14th.
Max, big day in college basketball tomorrow. Defending champion Humans contest, Paul Stone. He's off to a 5-0 start in that as well. Tell him where to find me and Paul's podcast for a bunch of picks tomorrow as college basketball.
Yeah, he's 12-5 in the last 3 weeks. So you can find it on College Sports Rush, the YouTube channel, or wherever you get your podcast. Look up College Sports Rush and subscribe while you're there.
Thanks to Ruffino's, always a wonderful place for us to spend our Fridays. On Monday, we'll be right across the street at Chris's Specialty Foods. Hope that you can join us as we recap in the final weekend of the regular season in college basketball and the baseball at the box. On Monday, for Max, for Jimmy, and for Jordan back in the studio, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.